Hey everyone, welcome back to Stoke Hunters, where we celebrate those who transform every snowy challenge into an exhilarating adventure. This episode, we're thrilled to welcome Taylor Gidney, also known as Mama Gids, a force known to be reckoned with in the snowmobiling world. From her roots of figure skating coach to becoming the first sponsored rider for Widescape. For those who listening don't know, Widescape is the first company to make a stand-up snowmobile. Yeah, that's right, you can stand and go. Taylor embodies the spirit of pushing boundaries and breaking new ground. As a mom, entrepreneur, and advocate for women's empowerment and indigenous awareness, she rides the backcountry not just for the thrill, but with a mission to inspire. So let's welcome Taylor. Hey, Taylor.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us tonight.
Absolutely. I was stoked that you asked me to be here. This is an awesome opportunity to kind of talk about me. I don't really get that opportunity in the sled industry. So,
yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I kind of started it from being invited from a few podcasts down in the States. And I'm like, oh, this is a lot of fun. Maybe I can bring cool people onto my own thing. And it's kind of grown from there.
I love it. I love that you give that. It's kind of like an outlet for everybody to speak. Tell their story. Yeah.
Well, a lot of people like do cool stuff, but then they never like have places to share it. So it kind of works out.
A lot of us are too humble to kind of brag about it too.
That is true. Everyone's always like when I've been on podcasts, they're like, man, what you're doing for like remembering your mom and this and that, and like, you know, starting this up and like giving things to community, like you're doing an amazing job. I'm like, I'm not that special. Like anyone can do it, but you're so true. Like
you make a difference. People see it, right?
Very true. So kind of what we started with the podcast is from previous episodes, we let them ask a question for our upcoming guests. So David from Texas, his question was, how do you collect your memories? So, and how he explained that was like, you know, do you take pictures at a certain place? Do you collect stickers? You know, do you collect pins? That kind of stuff. So how do you collect your memories?
Yeah, I mean, I do take a lot of videos. I'm known for taking pictures and videos everywhere I go. But I am the kind of person who just like soaks in the energy around me. So I will, if I find a place that I really enjoy, it's a lot about the energy. And I just sit down and do my thing and soak in the energy and collect a memory, I guess you would say that way.
100%. Do you have like 1 terabyte of cloud storage to save all your photos and videos?
Oh God, there is a lot. On multiple devices, yeah.
Yeah, I remember. It's wild. Like I remember when the iPhones and stuff first came out, we'd have like 16 gigs of space, and then now they like start at 64, and then it's like even I have like I think the first, I don't know, whatever $12 a month gets me on iCloud storage.
It's the worst. And then we have to delete. I'm like, I don't want to delete it. I don't know if it's really saved.
Yeah, I don't know. Is it there? Are we sure?
Oh, yeah.
So how long have you been snowmobiling?
I guess I've been on a snowmobile since I was like 9 months old. My dad is very into snowmobiling. And I remember being on a Polaris Indy when I was very little and holding on to the gas tank, like the gas cap, for dear life. Like, but then he got me and my brother and my sister our own sled. I think me and my brother were like 6, and we got like a 250 Elan, and then we got an Entice, like the old flippy light.
Yeah.
And then we had an Enticer, which was cool. We used to jump the driveway with that. That was pretty sweet. But then, yeah, we kind of I've had a sled my whole life. I stopped when I kind of left and did like the a-hole teenager thing and thought my parents weren't cool. So I left and failed at life miserably. But yeah, and then I got back into snowmobiling. I tried to convince my husband for years and he just didn't want to do it. He's a snowboarder, skateboarder, into Harleys, wasn't into the snowmobile thing. And then he met our friend Andy, and Andy finally got him on a sled and he was hooked. So we bought sleds, we went full in, and I was so excited. So I've been mountain sledding now this is my 4th going on 5th season.
Nice.
Yeah.
And would you say kind of, you know, from asshole teenage phase to then getting back into it, was that kind of like the moment where
it was the missing piece. I remember posting for the first time on Instagram, and dude, this sled was like, it was a borrowed sled. It was not mine. It was some guy that worked on the pipeline with my husband, and the risers were like this. So I was like it was not made for me. But it was awesome. And I remember making a post on Instagram and being like, it is so good to be back on a ski-doo. Like this is the missing piece that I've been missing in life for sure.
And then
it's my mental health escape. Like a lot of us say it. It's like that helmet goes on and the brain goes off. Like, yeah.
Except when the slopes get a little hairy.
I'm just 1, 2, 3, go. I don't even let it. I would never do anything if I let it get in my head. Like, I'm like, that's really big. No, it's not. 1, 2, 3, go.
well, I meant for like avalanche danger or stuff like that.
Oh, 100%. I don't mess with Mother Nature.
She will F you up.
Oh yeah, she's a force to be reckoned with, especially this year. She is one angry bitch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she will humble you very fast.
Whoa, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. So how long has your sled been bright pink?
I mean, last season I had a friend of mine. His name is Wally, but his name is, I don't even know what his actual name is, Taylor or Wally. 365 design.
Yeah.
He did a full like orange shirt day, truth and reconciliation, jingle dress, like my indigenous awareness, which was blue and pink smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Or not blue, orange and pink smoke. What am I talking about? And it was like my first bright flashy wrap. And then so this year I got on with the Martin Motorsports team. So we all kind of did like, there's a picture on my Facebook, I think, of all of our sleds on a mountain together, and they're all kind of flashy and matchy, but mine was girly and flashy but matchy, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then my widescape had to match. So we got my friend Barrett to do, it was all matchy, and it all matches my snowsuit. If you didn't,
and then hopefully it'll match your goggles one day.
Yes.
And speaking of widescape, being the first sponsored rider is kind of a huge achievement. Can you tell us about that journey?
So widescape, this is the 3rd year in production for them. I did a demo with them with Martin Motorsports on a mountain, and I loved it. I had a hoot. They loved my energy, and they reached out to Martin and were like, hey, we want to work with her. And I was like, dude, let's do this, because it was a hoot. Like, it's not like I always say to people, it's not my snowmobile, and they know that too. Like, it's not made for speed. It's literally like this little weapon that you can just bomb through the trees, and like, I don't know, it's really cool. You'll have to try it. But so it all started with my demo and me just having an absolute blast on it. And the owner, the 2 directors, their names are Sebastian and JR. They were like, dude, we like you. And I was like, I like you. And that's how it started.
I mean, that's how we started too. Like,
exactly. Vibe. Your vibe makes your tribe, right?
Yeah, 100%. It was like I saw your post with Michaela and Next Arena, and then saw all your energy of posting and everything, and then I think we just had like a wild Instagram DM conversation.
That was like the weirdest connection too with Michaela. So like Michaela is connected to my best friend, Tessa Prime. And then Michaela's also connected to my social media director with Martin Motorsports. So, and then with you, and I was like, what is going on? But like I said, your vibe attracts your tribe, right? So it's all good people, and I love it.
Yeah, 100%. And that's kind of the same thing, like, especially with like, small brands starting up. My friend started Paradise Skis and Snowboards, I think 3 years ago. And I just started engaging with their ambassadors and stuff like that. And some of them came on board, and then I'm like, well, it should do the same for Next Arena. And, back and forth, like any of our women riders should be talking to them. And I see it all the time with like Jackie, who summits the serotonin. Like she talks with, I mean, you just build this cool community, right? Like you know, there's already one Jeff Bezos. Let's just build a community that's like way better.
100%. Yep. I get it. I'm for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
And I know your tribe is very women empowerment and stuff like that, but
yeah, and like very family driven. I'm a mom, I'm a wife. I love my family. Yeah, it's very family and women. Women empowerment is my thing, though. Even my husband knows that. Here for the ladies.
I assume snowmobiling is probably traditionally male dominated, though.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, when I know a lot of the other ladies can say the same. I was a trail rider back in Ontario when it was like first coming out snowmobiling. Like I had a snowmobile license at 12 years old in Ontario. But there was like very few. Like I had one or two friends maybe that rid a snowmobile with their dads, and like there was this forum on the internet called Do Talk, and I remember seeing Kelso Faye on there, and she's like, she jumps her sled and is like this totally rad chick with purple hair, and I was like, whoa. Like, so it was a dream of mine to be cool like that one day. But there was no girls. Like it was like, yeah, there was like maybe 5 to look up to as a little girl.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then you became one of them for little girls now.
I mean, I don't think so, but other people tell me I still look at myself as this little small fry that just kind of bombs around on a trail, but
and has fun. That's the most important, right? Like have fun, invite people.
I enjoy every day I'm on my sled. So that's, if people like that and they like seeing that, I'm okay, come hang out.
I mean, I think there's potential to have a bad day or two on a sled, but I think it's very few and far between.
I mean, shit, yeah, there's always bad days. They're ginormous and they fight back. We're little ladies, like especially for us women, like yeah, you have to fight back.
Yeah. Well, and I assume, like I haven't snowmobiled in the mountains, but I assume it's similar to like skiing or snowboarding and powder, where it's like, you know, you don't try to fight the mountain, you let it move, and you like, it's kind of like a ebb and flow thing where you like
you kind of have to fight the mountain on the snowmobile, because it's so, I know it's hard for people to understand this. If you don't fight the mountain, you just get sucked downhill.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's literally like that. So you have to get it up and your skis out of the way, and then you have to lean this way to go that way and kind of keep yourself straight across the mountain, right? Yeah. Or else you're literally just being pulled down forever to your doom. Yeah.
I mean, eventually we're just going to have good day wrap sleds to take us into the backcountry, so I'll get to learn it one day, but
cool.
We're not there yet.
That'd be sweet.
Just boats and
snowboarding. Sleds. Do you guys like do the sled snowboard thing? I see people skiing all the time when I'm out there. I'm like, that is so cool. I have a video actually, and I was like, how do they get up? And then I'm like, whoa, he's a better sledder than me.
Yeah, I haven't done it yet. I have friends that do. I'm currently the slow powered one where I put the skins on the bottom of my skis and then walk up the hill.
Hey, I would break both my legs. So
and then, you know, when you're talking about, you know, only there being like 5 women riders, and then as it progressively got better, or like a little
there's so many more now. Like I go to the parking lot, and I know so many other people on the podcast have said these exact same words, is you go to the parking lot now and there is like an even to even ratio sometimes of women to men, and you're like, hell yeah, ladies are here. Like it's cool. It's really cool to see, and I love it. Like, and everybody's kind of like not cliquey, and they're like, oh, there's a lady, like we all just wave to each other. Oh, there's a pink sled, that's got to be a girl. What's up, girl? Like it's the best. I love it.
What do you think, you know, and maybe you don't remember, like what kind of do you think caused the snowball to it become more like 50-50 or more women getting into it?
I think like for me, I seen, and it was Nadine Overwater for me, and I don't know who it was for other women, but for me, I'm people say a brand whore, and I'm Skidoo for life. You will never catch me on a Polaris. You will never catch me on a Arctic Cat or a Yamaha. Nope. I've sat my butt on a Polaris once. I will never sit my ass on an Arctic Cat.
Did you get a rash?
Almost. That's what I said. I'm like, I got a hemorrhoid or something. But yeah, no. So for me, Skidoo really started launching Nadine Overwater, and then there was Ella Snow, and then there was so many more, and I was like girls are starting to be seen. And then I was like, and then I had a daughter, and I was like, I want to be that positive light for these little girls getting into the industry, because as I get older, these are little girls. And like one of my little best friends, her name is Minnie Pirate on Instagram. Her dad is Frozen Pirate Snow Services. He does all the avalanche training in Valemount, BC.
Oh, cool.
And his daughter is like my little best friend. And I look at her and I'm like, I need to be this positive light for these little girls, because they do look up to me. Like they love being with me. They love being around me. And I don't want to be like, I'm not positive. You know what I mean? So I think, and it was Nadine for me right from the beginning, was seeing Skidoo really outlet Nadine as like, hey, look how cool this chick is. And I was like, wow, I want to be her. And I still want to be her. She's been Jennifer Lopez's stunt double in the movie The Mother. She's
Really?
all over Skidoo's advertisement. She is the coolest freaking person in the world.
That's awesome.
She taught me in 2 separate clinics how to ride. So she's empowered me from little to, when I met her, I almost puked and shit at the same time, because I was like, this is her in real life. And they're like, oh, who is she? I'm like, who is she? You should not be here. Like, are you kidding me? Yeah.
I'm always like, I think like big celebrities that we see all the time, I think people notice, but then it's like, someone who has like big following or does like big things, unless you're in the industry of it. Like,
they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, for me, it was, I think the company's really starting to outlet the women. And then other girls were like, oh, I don't have to sit at home when my man goes and does this. I'll just go with them.
Yeah, Nadine just take his sled, wrap it in pink, and then it's your sled.
Yeah, and then they started, like She Shreds, Julianne Chapman, she started doing like women clinics. So then girls had a place to go for like kind of school, right? And that really pushed women in the backcountry as well.
Yeah, 100%. Well, and I find it so interesting because there's like some sports where they're like, they push women's side of it a lot, and then there's sports where like like basketball, women's NBA, it's like they're just getting paid by the men and all this stuff. It's
NHL.
Yeah. Where the sports fold eventually, and it's like, if you just invest in it for a few, well, maybe longer than a few years, but like, look at women's rugby in Australia. Like it's
rugby in high school. It was amazing.
It's massive. You look at women's soccer in the USA, like that team didn't suck, but like, had no, what I meant for suck was like, they had no like news and anything. And now the US women's team has like more funding and more traffic than the men's team and all this. It's like, you just have to give women an opportunity, and they show up every day.
Yeah, we work harder than men too. Just saying.
Well, my wife will say it all the time. But like the mental load, like as a male, it's like, do. I notice nothing. And she's like, did you not notice the dishes? Did you not notice
out about everything all day?
Yeah. And then on top, you go do all the other stuff that we do.
Yeah.
And speaking of that,
and clean and yep.
Yeah. And then it's like, guys, it's like, there's a pile of clothes on the ground, and be like, oh, took the pile of clothes, put that on the bed. Okay, it's clean. We're good.
Yeah.
Speaking of hats, you wear a lot, mom, wife, entrepreneur, everything else in between. How do you balance these roles while pursuing your passion for snowmobiling?
Yoga. Honestly, I honestly, yeah, if I didn't go to yoga every day, I would not. And my husband, he's my best friend. He gets me through everything. And my 12-year-old son is turning into just like him, and he can talk me out of any situation. He's my little best friend. But yeah, I would say yoga and my family for sure.
Yeah. And your yoga's, that's the 5:30 a.m. posts every morning?
Yes, sir.
It's actually really nice to wake, like I started doing it in the summer for mountain biking, and I'd, have my ride done or start at like 6:30 and then be done by like 7:30. And it's
It's
like,
beautiful. The day, like the sunrise is beautiful. You see the day. I love
well,
it.
like, yeah. And your body just like, I go to physio now in the morning because, being old and broken sucks.
Yeah, I go
But
to
like,
chiropractor on the regular. I get it.
yeah, being embarrassed by my 2-pound weights, I still feel good after that. I'm like, oh,
Who
I should just
cares?
do this every morning.
That's yeah, honestly, like I used to do the whole lift weights thing, be a rip show, but this yoga stuff and like I do Pilates once a week and yoga 4 or 5 times a week. And then I just turned my kids' toy room into a yoga studio in my room or in my house. So that's great. I can just do yoga whenever I want. But it
Yeah.
has been like the most recovery based, the best thing I've ever done for injuries and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I'll never go back to lifting weights. I'm going to be yoga for life.
Yeah. Or lift, like,
Little weights.
well, like, there's so many side muscle, like, your rotator cuffs and all this other stuff are like little tiny muscles. Like, they don't need that much to actually like tire them out. You just need
No.
to drop your
Work
ego and lift the 5-pound weight properly. And
100%.
So we were talking about it earlier. Women empowerment is a strong theme in your life. How do you advocate for women within the sport of snowmobiling and beyond?
Well, for me, it's like my social media is my platform where people see me.
Yeah.
I also just recently started hosting a ride where girls can come and meet me and ride with me. I'm also a huge face in Valemount, and everybody knows when they come to Valemount, they can probably find me and go for a ride.
Yeah.
I'm also a jingle dress dancer within my indigenous community, and I empower all my indigenous ladies. Love them. But yeah, my social media is my platform for empowerment for everybody, really. And then my one ride a year, I would say. They come and meet
Nice.
me. Mhm.
Would you say your ride is kind of like your big proud moment where you support women, or is there something else that's been like your proudest moment so far?
There's been so many proud moments. I mean, being a part of some of these women rides and women groups where you see like newer women excel and succeed, those are my favorite. Like I remember 2 of my newer girlfriends came out and somebody caught a picture of them looking over their shoulder and watching one of us keep our sled on edge. And it was like they clicked by watching us, and that was like, okay, this is cool. Like girls actually learn things from just being with each other. And
Huh.
that for me was like, that's the empowerment moment for Mama Gids, is like learning together in
Yeah.
some of the scariest effing terrain you'll ever be in your life. Like,
Well, when you're on your own, it's like, your brain talks to you and you're like, I don't think I can do this. I don't think I can do this. And then when you have your your friends or girlfriends or
well, and when you watch the dude do it in front of you who's like triple your size, you're like, but when you watch a girl do it who is your size or even smaller, like I'm not a fucking big girl. I'm tiny. I'm the size of a child. I wear a child's large helmet. Okay. So the girls that come with me are like, I can do that. Look at this little bitch. I can do
yeah,
it. Like it's empowering. And I'm the same way. I'm like, I watch a girl do it. I'm like, I can do it. She
yeah,
just did. I have to do it now.
yeah,
It's empowering for sure. Yeah.
100%. You see someone who looks like you do it or smaller do it, you're like, well, why can't I do it? Whereas like
Exactly.
your brain's like sometimes on your own, like, I can't do this. I can't do this. And then it's like, yeah, you get into support groups and stuff. You're like, yeah, I can fucking do this. Let's go.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. I remember when I was in Fernie last weekend, or not last weekend, sorry, in the summer for the Pride Festival, and they had a group ride, and then all these people were hitting all the features and everything. I'm like, F it, I'm gonna do this. So I yell out "Time to Die" and just hit it, and yeah, I survived it.
That's how I felt my first time on a mountain bike in Valemount on the trail. I was like, I gotta go down that. Okay, let's do this.
Yeah, I have to make it
I'm
up
in the
to.
hospital. It's a vacation. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Do this.
Yeah, I have to. I'm going away for work next week, and I'm like, oh, I'm in a hotel. I get the whole night to sleep. I mean, my wife isn't happy about it, but
Oh, you're saying, yeah, my husband always gets to escape too. I'm like, ew. Evil.
100%. We love them, but they're little
Oh,
demon child spawns
yeah.
sometimes too. And then, yeah, you've been a big advocate for indigenous awareness and host women's or missing and murdered indigenous women for indigenous women and Orange Shirt Day. Has that kind of been all in more recent or start of adulthood?
It has, yeah, more recent. I think post addiction. So I was addicted to drugs for a very long time after high school. But coming out of that and kind of being clean for many years has been like a reconnection for me spiritually and culturally, I think. And I did like reach out to fellow Indigenous women in my community, one of them being Anita Cardinal. She is one of the newest lawyers here in Edmonton. And she had the act, I think, changed. So you no longer swear on the Bible for them because they didn't want to do that, obviously.
Yeah.
So she had it changed and she swore in culturally, respectfully for us to get on or her lawyer, which was awesome. I was like, wow, that's my friend. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I met up with her and she started doing for Orange Shirt Day after the 215 children were discovered in Kamloops.
Yeah.
She started up a 5 to 10K walk and run because she is a runner for everybody to kind of stuff. And it blew up, man. So I kind of signed up as a dancer for her the first year, and I danced in one of the dresses that I had made, and it was red with red ribbons and a little red handprint for missing and murdered Indigenous women. And I kind of stopped some vehicles from going so all the kids could walk by, and I just danced back and forth. But then the second year, I actually helped out, and I went down in a ribbon skirt and ran the registration table for her and no longer danced. But yeah, so I also worked kind of with the Jingle Dress Project. I had a scarf of theirs and did a photo shoot for them in BC to kind of spread awareness into Canada because they're from the US.
Cool.
And just, yeah, spreading the goodness of the jingle dress, which is healing. Like there's no hate, there's no ill feeling. It's just straight up healing. When you hear the sound of the dress, it's to bring love and healing and peace and joy. And yeah. And that's who I am. Like I just love and hate fighting and just want everybody to be happy.
Well, and I find it so fascinating sometimes where, you know, and I don't think the internet's our friend for this, where, you know, you get people that feel so decisive, but it's like, you know, if people just sat down half the time with each other, they'd find they have way more in common than the things that divide them. But
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's for me, like even through all of what had gone on, like I was just like, don't let them divide us. That's what they want to do. Like division is power and don't let it.
Well, it's easier. Yeah. It's easier to
divide and conquer.
Yeah. It's every war book. It's easier to maintain two groups of 500 than it is a group of 1,000.
Absolutely.
Oh, what happened? Oh, just going to battery. Stupid power cord. Yeah. I don't know. I think there's a lot we can learn from Indigenous communities, and I think we're slowly
there's a lot you can learn from every community because every belief is so different, and I think there's something to be learned from every culture.
That is true. Mm-hmm. I'd be curious if at one point it all spanned from like one thing, and then as we migrated into different areas of the world.
Yeah, it's like a broken telephone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there are lots of commonality between
all of them. Yeah.
All of them. But then, yeah, just depending on, potentially climate or, what the environment was at the time when that community was growing up, that would dictate what they did.
Evolution.
Yeah.
Science. Science. Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Bill.
Yeah.
I remember the 15-minute science.
My kid said they still watch that. I'm like, that is awesome. And he's still alive. He's just, I'm like, does he age?
No.
Science.
I feel like him. Who's the other super sciencey guy? Neil.
Oh yeah.
Something.
What is his last name? Yeah, I know.
He does space or whatever, and then Keanu Reeves from like The Matrix, like 3 people who don't age.
Yeah.
We'll just see them disappear
very
for a bit.
Slowly. Yeah, and then they'll come back really young.
Yeah, and then they'll come back. We'll be dead, but they'll be back in like 2300 and still talking about science.
Bill Nye the Science Guy. Oh, that's awesome.
And Matrix 15 will come out, but we won't be here.
True that.
Matrix 3 was not good.
I have never even seen any of them. I am so not a TV person. I watched the Barbie movie and I watched Bluey a lot.
How old is your second child?
She's 4. She's almost 5. Bluey's
that would make sense. That would make sense why you have a lot of Bluey.
Bluey's a thing. It's great. It's very
Barbie.
Barbie was nuts. Okay, that
good.
Good. Oh my god.
Amazing.
It was pretty crazy for my 4-year-old daughter. I was like, this is a bit much. I have all the genitals. I'm like, no, we don't. Okay, let's go away. This is not for a 4-year-old. Why didn't you warn a bitch? Like,
yeah, I mean, I guess I didn't notice that. My daughter's only 3 months tomorrow, so
yeah, she doesn't even know what the hell's going on, bro.
No, she's just like, I'm gonna drool, I'm gonna eat, and I'm gonna poop.
I like shiny things. Yeah.
Well, it's bad, but like you can see how like the TV grabs their attention already. If she's like crying a bit, we'll just like turn around and be like, here, look at this for a few minutes. And then she's like, ooh, flash. She's a big fan of The Rookie.
Oh, great.
The cop movie or the cop TV series.
Yeah.
So a big quote of yours is
cop or an assassin.
Pardon?
She's either going to be a cop or an assassin.
Yeah, either or.
Either or.
A quote you live by is about consistency and patience, but always chasing the dream. How has this philosophy shaped your approach to challenges?
So honestly, I heard this not too long ago in a work meeting. His name is Greg. He used to own our Booster Juice, and now he is a billionaire. And he looked at us all and said, what did he say? Oh my God, why can I not remember right now? Consistency with your, oh my God, but patience with your results and always chase the dream. But you're going to be consistent with like your work and how much you put into what you're doing, but be patient with your results, right? Like the results aren't going to come overnight in anything we do, right? Snowmobiling, work. And this is where it really clicked with me. I was like, wow, Greg, like that hit home. Like I have to be consistent with how much time and how much effort I put into either work, my kids, my snowmobiling, my widescaping, my social media, anything we do. But then in the end, you have to be patient in those results because they're not coming tomorrow. Like those followers aren't going to be there overnight. You know what I mean? So yeah, just being really patient, but always chasing the friggin' dream. Because everybody has a goal. Everybody has a dream. You may have multiple like me. I put so much on my plate, but always have something to chase because you're not going to have someone to wake up for if there's nothing to chase.
No.
We're creatures. We're predators, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's true. We're apex predators. We are. We need that chase in life. We need a goal. We need a meal. We need, you know what I mean? We need dopamine, anything. We need to chase and be our apex predator because that's who we are.
Yeah. And we have the frontal lobe that gives us a reason why and intention and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I find that's always the thing that I find interesting, especially in the entrepreneurship world. People are like, oh, I'm going to put 20 hours in every day. And it's like, you're just going to burn out. Like, you need to be consistent with it. And a book that helped me with it was Atomic Habits, where they talked about, being 1% better every day. Because in 1 year, if you do just 1%, which is, nothing at the end of the day, you're 37 times better at the end of the year than you were when you started.
100%. Yep.
How do you instill this philosophy in your kids?
I mean, we talk about it every single day. My kid, one of them right now, is struggling in school. And like I say to him, it's not going to happen overnight, buddy. Like, be consistent on how much you're working and do it every day. And by the final exam, you're going to see your results, right? Because it's not going to be at the beginning of the year when you just start junior high. Same with my daughter. She's big into dance. And with my daughter, I do, like, I think I posted today, like, I am terrified to do this hill climb backcountry race. I'm terrified. Like, I know I'm not going to be fast. I know there's a chance I can roll my sled, but like I tell my daughter every time she doesn't want to go in around people or she doesn't want to go on stage in those big bright lights because she's only 4 years old, almost 5 years old. Do it scared. Like everything, there's gonna be so many things in life that scare you. Do it scared.
Yeah.
And that's like I said before, 1, 2, 3, go. It's I do the same thing, right? And for my kids, it's worded a bit differently because their little minds are only growing. But it's either, like my oldest kind of gets it now, consistency in what I have to do and how much work I put in, and then really be patient with my results and when they're going to come. But always for him, he is in Air Cadets and he wants to be a pilot. So his goal and his result is going into the Air Force and being a pilot, right? So he needs to be consistent with school and he needs to be patient with himself and he needs to maybe reach out for that extra help, right? But that's his consistency. And then same with my little girl. Yeah, she just do it scared, mommy. She knows.
100%. And a thing that I don't know who I picked it up from, but it's now thinking about that feeling of fear, and it's not fear, it's like excitement.
Yeah, and I think somebody said that too. I've been reading a book lately about anxiety because I suffer from fucking crippling anxiety. I'm not even kidding. Like I puke, I lay on the ground, I shake, I cannot control myself. And it's honestly turning that anxiety into excitement is a mind change that will blow your mind.
Yeah. Think about it as like butterflies first, and then once you go from there, think about it at like the butterflies are actually just like little things of excitement.
And like Wim Hof always says, breathe, motherfucker. Fucking breathe.
100%. But yeah, if something isn't scary, you're not growing from it.
Absolutely. I said that to my girlfriend when we moved to Fort McMurray from Ontario. I said, if we're not scared, we ain't fucking growing. Let's go.
Yeah. And you were talking about like pursuing dreams and stuff like that. What kind of dreams are you chasing now? And are there any new challenges or adventures on the horizon for you?
I mean, I hate talking about them out loud because I always feel like I'm going to jinx them. But my ultimate goal, and I don't care how fucking old I am, sorry, they like family-friendly content. I want to be on the Skidoo corporate team. I want to be right beside Nadine Overwater and Dave Nerona and fucking Carl Kuster. I want to be on Team Skidoo. And I have wanted to be on Team Skidoo since I was a fucking little girl. So that is my end goal. Well, I always will still have my little side piece, Mr. Widescape, right beside me because I love that fucking little stand-up machine too. It's a hoot, and it's my little city wagon for sure. Like I have my big mountain sled, but I can rip that widescape all the way from my house to Beaumont. So,
Oh,
but yeah,
cool.
my end goal is to be Team Skidoo and always obviously empowering women the whole way with me.
Yeah. That'll be cool. I look forward to seeing you there.
It
Oh,
will.
100%. You just gotta you gotta dream it and act on it and continue to act
On
on
the manifestation list for sure.
it. Yeah. Speaking of snowmobiling and like mountains, it's quite a thrilling sport, but also comes with risks. How do you approach safety and risk management, especially in the backcountry setting?
So obviously, I talked about Frozen Pirate, one of my very good friends, but also my teacher. We do avalanche training and we do avalanche practice. So we search for our beacons, we dig them out. Like, I don't know if you've seen, but at my birthday party, I made the girls do a kind of a fun game so that they realized how hard it is to find a beacon and how much you really need to practice it, just
Yeah.
even on your own. But yeah, Frozen Pirate Snow Services, Curtis Pollock, he is the man. I'm telling you, I've been in the backcountry with him on a friend setting outside of his educational classes there, and he knows what he's talking about. And he has really taught me what I'm looking at under a microscope. I am that nerd that's there with the microscope looking at the snow. My husband and I will cut out snow columns that look like pieces of cake to see what's going on and see if there's an avalanche danger. Like, especially this year, huge avalanche risk for everybody, which I'm sure everybody knows. But I'm also an ambassador for High Mark airbags, which is you pull it, big airbag blows,
Yeah.
backpack style. So I do wear that, and I do keep my beacon on me as well, and I do carry Memu, best of the best. But I also, a lot of people don't think about it, but some do. I do not go anywhere without my Garmin InReach. So I have my satellite and my SOS on me at all times.
Mm-hmm. Well, like we talked about at the start,
Yeah.
Mother Nature doesn't wait for anyone. She'll do whatever
And then
she wants.
like a kit to be prepped 24 hours on a mountain, because you never know.
Yeah.
You might have to camp. You might have to cozy up in a bivy bag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You might have to start a fire with a frigging gas-filled tampon. Like, you prepared. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
there's weird things I have in my pack, like gas-filled tampons.
Hey, it works. I mean,
They work so good.
we don't. Yeah. I don't have. Yeah, I have a little fire starter, but yeah, gas is so much easier to start. And I mean, if you have your sled, you can just siphon for more gas for
Well, you
throughout
just
the night.
hold the string and dip it in
Yeah.
the tank, pull it out, good to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
There you go.
Light her up.
Yeah.
Well, the thing that what I thought was cool with, avalanche safety training was, the snow science and seeing how the layers interact with each other. But the beacons, like, you think it's just like, you just point it and go, but
drills. Yeah.
you have to follow the circles.
Yeah. And it's like, there's a specific way to walk in, and then you drop
Yeah.
low, and then you can't turn around. Like, and people don't understand that. Or like the girls are like, I'm getting a signal here. And I'm like, you're both standing there with a beacon and your cell phone's in your pocket.
Yeah.
Of course you're getting a signal there.
Yeah.
But it's hard. It is so hard. And unless you practice, like, even I have to, I still don't know what the hell I'm doing. I walk around like a dog looking for a pee, and I'm like, fuck, I can't do a circle. Like, you have to practice it. Like, and then you have to dig holes, because the hardest part, I think, is, okay, I found my friend, but now digging that hole is a lot of fucking work.
Yeah. They could be 10 meters under that snow.
Yeah.
And, it's not light snow anymore. It's a avalanche.
It's rolled, it's tumbled. It's like, it's like mashed potatoes in a blender, man. Yeah.
Yeah. Scary but fun back there.
Scary but fun. This year is really scary. I've been keeping it mellow, just building jumps.
Yeah. How has your approach to risk and safety evolved over the years?
I think as the older I get, the less risk I'm willing to take. Not gonna lie. One, I'm scared to get hurt because I feel old. But two, I have children that need me. I think once my kids are raised, I'll be like a crazy old man, like my friend Andy and my father, where they're just like fucking balls to the wall. Let's do this. Who cares? My kids are grown. They don't need me. But right now, I always say I have kids to go home to. I can't be hurt. I can't die. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
My 12-year-old only knows how to make grilled cheese. I can't live off that for a
Exactly.
week.
He doesn't even know how to make grilled cheese yet. So fuck.
But what about cereal? Would you at least be getting breakfast in the morning?
Yeah, he can do cereal. He can do really good at like noodles and eggs. He'd be fine.
Nice.
Yeah.
He'd be fine. You'd be in the bedroom starving.
Yeah.
Speaking of, cheering on other ladies and stuff like that, are there any specific programs or initiatives, that you've been involved with for a long time that have been, making big waves?
I would say I have not really been involved with, but I do love the Hunters Range Ladies Ride and Shelley Cooster. She is Carl Cooster's wife. She has been making huge waves in the women's ride. So you just go hang out. It's like a social ride for ladies, as well as Sheena Thomas. She's out of Sycamoose. She started what is called avalanche games. And I think this is relatively new. So you go and you practice avalanche skills. So you just sign up either by yourself or with a team, and they do like avalanche scenarios, and there's big prizes to be won, and you practice your avalanche safety skills the whole time, which I love. And it's ran by a girl.
Yeah.
Very cool. And she's super rad. But yeah, there is a lot of women's rides. But really, I would, for the snowmobile industry, and I know a lot of the other girls say it as well, reach out to people on Instagram. Like, these girls are some of the nicest people you'll meet, and they're just waiting for you to send them an inbox. Like, and then they'll meet you in the parking lot. It turns into one of the best days of your goddamn life. Like, I met up with a girl that I met at a ladies' ride last year. This year, her name was Kate, and we had the best day. Just her, my husband, and me. Like, just the three of us in the backcountry catching birds on our hands, being cool, getting stuck all day. Like, I would just reach out to the girls that you've always wanted to ride with. You think me, just reach out to them. I bet you they'll take you riding.
Yeah. The people with the, bigger followings or, do something cool or like created their own things, they're no different
They're
than
not
us.
doing, yeah, and they're doing it for a reason. They want you to reach out, right? Like they're willing to help. And if they're not going to be able to ride with you, I know a lot of them will like take time out of their day to make you a video to help with anything that you may be needing help with, right?
Yeah. Instagram DMs are the new best way to make friends.
Absolutely. Honestly, like I've met some of my best friends in the sledding industry over Instagram.
Yeah. Well, it's like, there's only 1 million people in Edmonton. I don't know. Like there's lots of sledders, but like,
Exactly.
it's easier to find everyone on Instagram.
One of my best friends, her name's Maddie. She's way down in the States. Like, never seen her in person, but I love her.
Yeah. Send memes to each other and send sled pics.
Exactly. She knows there's no judgment. I know there's no judgment. We live so far away. People don't even know who I'm like, who are you talking about? Don't even care. I'm here for you. Yeah. It's awesome.
Yeah. So you're talking about the race this weekend coming up that you have a little bit of fear. Pardon?
It's 2 weeks away.
Oh, 2 weeks away. You have some fear there. Can you share an experience from in the past where you had fear and then you confronted it and overcame them?
Yeah, I mean, my first time in the backcountry, I was like, I can ride a sled. I told my husband, I'm like, I'm gonna be riding circles around you. I got out there and was like, I cannot ride a fucking snowmobile. And I was looking around, I'm like, I am scared shitless. What did I get myself into? I am not riding circles around fucking nobody. Like, but I remember being like, I can't make myself look fucking stupid. Like, your big mouth got yourself into this. You're getting over it. And I remember I just climbed something and it was small. It was relatively small, but to me, it felt huge. And I got to the top of it, and I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad. So then I hit something a little bit bigger. I was like, okay, that wasn't that bad either. And then recently, last season, I hit something that I would not go anywhere near. And it's big. And I remember getting to the top of it, and I was like, I did it. Like, and that was the biggest point that you needed to get over to get into my goal for that season, right? So
Yeah.
I think setting goals for myself, and like I said to you before, not overthinking it. I really I sit there and I'm like, I'm scared. 1, 2, 3, go. Don't overthink, because if I sit there too long, I won't do it.
Yeah.
I'll turn around. I'll make an excuse for myself not to do
it. baby steps and go.
1, 2, 3, go. I don't even take the baby steps. It's like a jump. It's like a puppy jumping off a dock.
Well, I mean, baby steps as in you're not going to send.
No. Yeah,
the first time. You're going to do a 10-foot, 20-foot, 30-foot, 40-foot, and then you'll hit the 50-foot.
Mm-hmm. I'm also not like full send over here. Like, I keep it pretty moderate, but I get around and I have fun.
Yeah, that's the most important part, right?
Yeah,
it's you. Then I think we get focused, especially with social media and everything, making the world a bit smaller. We kind of focus on what other people are doing, and at the end of the day, it's you versus you, and that's all you can do.
Hey, I'm better than I was last season, and I'm better than I was last time I was on my sled, so I don't even care.
Yeah.
And I know for myself, I help tons of my friends every time I'm out there, and that is the most empowering thing for me. So if I can push my friends to come a little bit farther with me every time, then that is good enough for me.
Speaking of your, empowerment and Indigenous awareness, it's super inspiring. Looking to the future, what are your hopes for the impact of your work?
From the Indigenous side?
From both. Like, how do you envision your efforts?
I just want to be seen as me. I know, like, my Indigenous side in that, growing up, and a lot of Indigenous people, not just women, all of us feel that we had to hide who we were. My great-grandfather for years was told to not tell anybody he was Indigenous. And I don't ever want myself or my family to ever have to feel that way. And I just want to be seen for me. Like, I don't want to have to pretend to be somebody I'm not. I've done it so many times in the past for any jobs or trying to get somewhere in life. And for the first time ever, when I am on a snowmobile and being myself and people see me and love me for myself, I'm like, this is me. I can be seen for me. And you don't have, like, my Instagram, sure, I don't post all my darkest moments, but that is me, dude. Like, I am happy. I do happy things. My family is involved in everything. My dog's involved in everything. My husband's my best friend. Like, I don't ever want to have to pretend ever again. And that's kind of it. In Indigenous, in life, in me, I'm me. Yeah. I'm a woman. I'm not afraid to be a woman. I'll take my helmet off and wave my fucking hair in your face. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I am me, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, and I think that, like, being seen as you or being seen as me, I think it's something a lot of people can relate to.
Yeah, there's so many people, and me being one, I'm sure you can relate as well. There's been so many experiences or instances in my life where I have pretended to be something I'm not, or faked it till I made it, right? Because was like, I remember my dad always saying, fake it till you make it. And I don't want to do that anymore. Like, I'm a mom. I don't want my kids to fake it till they make it. I want them to do what they love with a fucking smile on their face and telling the world to shove it. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The only thing you can fake is the fear part, but go be yourself.
Exactly. Yeah.
Well, yeah, like, growing up with ADD, it's like I have so much energy that it's like, as a kid, it's like, I masked that. It's like, because everyone was like, oh, you're way too excited. You're like, tone it down a bit. And it's like,
no, I don't want.
Now it's like, who cares?
Go away. I'm going to dance.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Well, it's like, yeah, and I kind of look at that as like tattoos. Like, I got my first one in January for my mom last year, and then I had 3 immediately. And it's like, I'm like, people like,
Just wait.
oh, they keep coming. I have more ideas. But it's like, I like
You
showing
put
them
a
off
small
because it's like,
mortgage on your body.
yeah, it's your expression. Like, I have my travel arm.
I always tell my mom and like my grandfather, God rest his soul, hated my tattoos. But I'm like, dude, you put these ugly fucking plates in a china cabinet and those ugly pictures of fucking flowers on the wall. I put the shit on my body. Okay, leave me alone. Everybody likes their art somewhere. Mine's on my body. Yours is in that fucking ugly china cabinet. But all right.
Well, I look at mine as, kind of how you collect your videos. I collect my tattoos for memories.
There you go. See? Yeah. All my tattoos are also memories, like, or matching with somebody who means a lot. Or,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
I like this. Yeah, I have my travel arm. So it's like, well, because I got, when I first got my tattoo, it was a origami elephant with my sister to remember my mom. I'm like, oh, this, it's like such a great story to remember her. I'm like, oh, it'd be cool to like get tattoos as I travel. So then I got Stitch tattooed on my arm when I was in Hawaii. And then now it's like, oh, I'll pick up other tattoos. The mini sledder. So cute.
She is very cute. I knew she was going to come in. She had to make it. She just needed her 15 seconds of fame there.
Yeah.
Hi.
Well, she'll follow her mom. You'll be for corporate skidoo, and then she'll be corporate skidoo.
Oh yeah, she'll come. It'll happen. She's on. I had her on the sled. She was 14 months old in one of those little carriers. And now she just sits in front of me with a little neck brace on, this big pink helmet. But she has a mountain bar, okay? I had a fucking gas cap. She has a full-on handle.
Well, it's like it's like Strider bikes. Like we had to learn with training wheels, and it's like, who didn't think of making a little tiny bike that you just stepped over on both sides to balance?
I had fucking training wheels since I was 12. If they would have gave me one of those, I could have maybe figured it out.
Yeah. No, training wheels were scary as shit because you're like 10 feet in the air with your little tiny wheels, and then it tilts you over, and you're like, I'm gonna fall.
I know.
It's probably why you like sledding. It just brings back memories.
Probably. Fuck. Exactly what's going on.
I don't even know where we were, but that's okay. Reflecting on all the roles you play, from being mom, business owner, advocate, athlete, what's the kind of most important message or lesson you'd like to share with our audience about finding and pursuing their good days?
Just do it. I think, honestly, we like, our fucking days are so numbered, man. Just go. If you want to try something, if you want to do it, just fucking do it. I think I said that recently on a Martin Motorsports post about women empowerment. Just start up your engine and just go. Just get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Whatever the hell it is you've been questioning forever, just do it this year. Why not?
Well, and it's like everyone who you look up to in anything didn't get to where they are without being embarrassed first.
Make that one day, day one.
Yeah. It's one day or day one.
Mm-hmm.
I like that quote
Absolutely.
too. Yeah. It's always wild how Nike just has like the best slogan ever. Like, just do it.
Just do it. I didn't even fucking realize I was quoting Nike. Sorry, Nike. Don't sue me. Just do
it. Just wild. Like how you can think of something and like that. Did you ever read the documentary or his autobiography?
No, but now I'm going to have to. Now I'm in.
Yeah, it's actually really cool. Like, this $1 billion company, you're like, oh, it's probably just like some corporate thing or whatever. And it's like how it started. Like his slogan, or not his slogan, but like one of my favorite quotes was, it's just business. If it's ever just business, that means business is very bad and I'm going to quit. And because like, right, like business should never just be about making money. It should be about doing something you're passionate about and love, and just bring other people in who love it.
Absolutely.
But yeah, don't F over your friends like we saw on the Facebook documentary.
Oh.
Yeah, like I don't know. Life's too short, like you said. Like, you know, like we don't know if we're gone tomorrow. Heck, we don't know whenever it is. So it's like, you know, just do what makes you happy, because tomorrow might not actually come for some of us.
Absolutely. Yep.
Kind of as we, you know, coming up to the hour, and as we're closing our conversation, what final thoughts or words of wisdom would you like to impact to anyone listening who might be hesitating to take the leap into a next adventure, or, you know, having a little bit more bad days? Like, what would be your like kind of step one to get out of that?
I recently just told my sister this, actually. I think a lot of people try to push their things down, or when they're going through things, they don't actually go through them. So just, if it is a bad day, go right fucking through it. Feel it hard and go through it. You know what I mean? And then come out of it with one of the best days, because honestly, and I'm sure you can relate, the best days always follow some of the hardest days.
Yeah. Well, like,
when you can realize that you're finally fucking over it or through it enough to be happy again, it's the best feeling in the world.
Well, what's the quote about like storm clouds or whatever, and then I don't know, something about sunshine?
There's always sunshine after the storm. There's always rainbows after the storm, or something like that.
Yeah, no, yeah, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
No, I think there's a better one.
Of a song.
Yeah.
Sunshine went rain.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, and I think, you know, we avoid hardship, we avoid bad days, we avoid, like, we just try to block it out. But it's like, if you don't feel it, you don't do it, you can't enjoy it. Like, you know, it's yin and yang, it's the balance. Like, you know, you have to have bad to have good, you have to have good to have bad. Otherwise, you just
people always say, I'm going through it, or I'm going through a lot right now. Are you going through it, or are you just burying it?
Yeah, it's okay to not be okay, and it is,
yeah.
Especially for men, it's okay to cry, and it feels really good.
It does
after.
Yeah. Okay to not be okay, but then you just can't stay there.
No,
you gotta get up. Yeah.
You use that. Well, and I think the thing is like, you know, negative energy or like hardship or like bad things have so much like we remember negative way easier than we remember positive. So
that's
use
where
that.
PTSD comes from, friend.
Yeah, but let's use that negative to inspire.
Yeah, make it your fuel. Fuel your fire. I think this is Metallica. Let's quote Metallica now. I love Metallica. I'm like obsessed with Metallica.
I wish I had hair to hairbang, but I don't.
Get me in a Metallica concert, you'll lose me in a mosh pit. Probably not anymore, because I'm scared to break a hip, but
yeah. It comes fast as we get old.
Oh, I know, I'm scared.
And finally, if you could ask our next guest one question to continue the conversation about hunting for good days, what would it be?
Ooh, that's juicy. I get to ask somebody else. Okay. I would ask the next person, what is their inspiration to chase good days?
I like that.
Mm-hmm.
That's good. Well, Taylor, thank you for joining us tonight on Stoke Hunters.
Thanks for having me. It was fun.
And thank you, listeners, for following and, you know, hunting good days. You can follow Taylor on Instagram, Mama_Gids. Look for that pink sled. Super easy to find. We posted her on our stuff. So, you know, you can just hit it and then follow her. Go do it. She has tons of good days. Send her a DM if you're into sledding, or, you know, just want someone to hype you up, because I guarantee you she is the hype woman of 2024.
Oh, I could cry. Thanks, guys.